Greetings everyone, my name is Flare Bliss and we have returned back to our Adventures of Skye, the Slime Maid. It's morning in Tipton as we arrive in the city. Not enough locals are around, but some are preparing shops and huts to be open. We made it in front of a guild centre on time, just like what Tara requested. Ah yes, we're going to the beach, aren't we? We start to wait for her and ready for what her plan was.
Psst. I'm over here.
You're over here where? I hear her from the side of a building. It's like she's trying not to be spotted. I guess we go forward to her to see what's up. What's with the secrecy? Good morning, Tara. So, how do we get to the beach?
I have someone here to take us.
Thank you. A horse neighs from behind where Tara is. Tara does a suspicious laugh.
You couldn't stay quiet for a few seconds, huh, Daisy?
No, Daisy is a very vocal horse.
Let's meet her, guys. Alex and Skye, meet Daisy, the Pegasus.
Pegasus? Damn, this horse got wings. A white Pegasus with large angel-like wings is hiding behind the bushes and eating the grass. How big is this bush in order for it to hide a Pegasus? I believe this is the first time I'm close to a real-life Pegasus. Very pretty and majestic. Skye's mesmerized by the sight of this angelic creature.
She's so beautiful. Could I pet her?
No.
Go right ahead. She's tame.
Lovely. Pet the horse. Skye quickly goes to Daisy and slowly strokes her mane. Daisy doesn't seem bothered as she keeps eating the grass. So, is Daisy capable of carrying all three of us?
Of course. Pegasi are slightly more potent than horses. We'll be okay.
After talking and looking at the Pegasus, we will decide to hop on to Daisy to get ready to leave. Tara's in front, I'm in the middle, and Skye's at the end, holding on to me.
All right, Daisy, let's take flight.
Yeah, let's take flight before anybody sees us. As she head pats her, Daisy responds by flapping her wings, gently lifting us off and heading towards the skies. As I hold on, the ground where we were has slightly gone small from my perspective. We're now above the trees of Tipton's borders and we're on our way towards the direction of Yardley. Ah, the nice open sky. I still can't believe what is happening to me. I'm on a Pegasus with the mayor's daughter and my magical maid in the skies, moving like 40 miles per hour. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to live for. As Tara's keeping control, Skye's looking down at the countryside scenery and I am looking around my surroundings at the sky's atmosphere. Truly a fantastic view to see. As I keep looking around, the speed decreases as I see a canvas on an ocean close by. And we're slowly descending. It looks like we've made it to the destination in hand. It is indeed a beach, with some buildings by it. We arrived at the coastal town of Yardley. This town is famous for its fishing competitions and it's one of the few beaches in the land of Bromwich. This is my first time being here. The seagulls make their calling noise at the beach, and I can hear the ocean waves hitting on the shore. I can't wait to have fun on the beach. So, what's the plan, Tara?
Having a stress-free day at the beach, Alex? I thought you knew that.
No, I would like to be told plans when plans are being made, thank you very much, rather than just preemptively presuming what we're doing. Just wanted to make sure. Lucky thing I brought my swimwear shorts that I got years ago in my bag. Skye gets close to me like she wants to say something.
Master, I don't have a swimsuit.
From hearing that, Tara has an idea from her grin on her face. A grin.
What a coincidence! I need to buy a new swimsuit too. Alex, you can pick a spot for us on the beach while Skye and I will choose the gorgeous swimsuits to try on.
Sounds like a deal to me.
Same here. Let's go together, Skye!
Yay!
That's probably the best decision, actually. Both girls are heading to the closest shop for beach clothes, and I walk towards the beach. We're gonna beach ourselves on this beach. It's been several minutes since I arrived on the beach, and looking at the ocean as its blue water keeps flowing along as far as I can see, I'm beach body ready as I got my shorts on and my clothes are at the corner. Not many other people are on the beach. Some of them are enjoying the sun as I am. Now I'm hearing footsteps coming close by to me.
We're here, Alex.
Hello. As I turn around, another gorgeous sight is upon me. Oh dear, you have to say it like that. But fine. Eyes. Skye Terror are wearing beach swimwear. They look fantastic and stunning with those outfits. Skye's wearing a purple bikini and Tyler is wearing a red one with white polka spots patterns on, something along those lines. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I know my heart rate increases by looking at these ladies. As I keep staring, two girls are feeling better at themselves.
See, Skye? I told you he likes them.
Thanks. How could you come to that conclusion? How dare you, Taylor?
Well, I'm happy that he looks satisfied.
Do you want to see how great we are, or are you going to keep staring like a doofus?
Excuse me, I'm looking between... I was supposed to say between you, but that just sounds really, really bad. I'm saying the gap between these two characters. Sure, okay. You both look beautiful wearing the swimsuits you picked. They match your personality. And what is our personality, Alex?
Aw, that makes me feel better about myself.
Well, I already feel great, but thanks for the compliment. Should we allow ourselves to head to the sea?
Yes.
I'm ready for some fun.
I'm ready for some beach body ready fun. Sure thing, I'll race both of you there. And just like that, we made it to the sea in a big splash. I gave myself an unfairly head start to the sea as I run for it. But as I run, Tara is already running side by side next to me. She's now ahead and reaches into the sea. Skye comes from behind me with a hug, which makes us drop into the sea. Besides that, it's sea time. All three of us have the best time splashing, diving, and throwing water at each other. It's indeed a fun time. I would like to question the anatomy of slime inside water, as it would probably affect the composition of slime, but we're not going to question that in this day and age. We can become anything that we want to. After we had our fun in the sea, we decided to take a break back at our beach spot and discuss personal things, like Pegasuses and adventures.
You know, I never knew that my life has come to this.
Like?
Being with two people that appreciate me for who I am.
Have we done that?
Not enough people want to get to know me because they have to take charge of everything.
So why are you with us then if you need to take charge of everything? Not complaining, but just an observation.
All of my so-called rich friends are doing their things.
That's very interesting that you are telling us all this.
This might be my last chance to be youthful before I start being a proper adult and help my city out more.
You know, you could be a proper adult while doing youthful things, you know. Tara turns her attention to Skye.
I already know what Alex's future is about. What about yours, Skye?
I think I said to be with Alex, and we both become gold rank adventurers.
Together.
Yes, but what happens after that? What are your plans then?
Skye has a hard thought about that question. I start to think of that too. Skye begins to feel sad to herself.
Did I hurt your feelings?
Yes, you did again.
It's
I'm
not that
kidding.
at all. My entire existence before meeting my master was all about the survival of the fittest.
Ah yes, the slime factor and not being able to fall prey to something that would inevitably gulp you up.
But now, I can help people. I can do the best I can by being myself. And I wouldn't have gotten this far without my master, Elizabeth, Thomas, and you, Tara. And I'd like for us to be best friends.
Best friends? Best friends forever. Ah, blushes appeared. Tara's mouth opened, hearing Skye's request about being best friends. I am a little surprised as well.
Thank you, Skye. I would love that.
Both of them share a nice laugh. Since that is covered, how about we change our clothes and get ourselves some souvenirs?
Now that is a great idea.
Souvenirs from this place.
Now this day is getting better.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, when it comes to like tourism and stuff like that in a different area, there's always got to be one kind of souvenir that you are needing to get in order to remember it. Remember the holiday, then and there. We got our stuff together and walk into the town for shopping. What do we get? What do we get as a souvenir? Oh, we're back here. I would like to know what we got. I suppose I'll be exposed at some point. Many hours later, our group made it back to Tipton in the early night. There are not enough locals around, but only the Ram pub has some activities. Tara agrees she'll go another way with Daisy.
This has been a great day. I won't forget it.
Same as well. Good night, Tara.
Thank you for tonight. Bye, Tara.
Good to hear. Have a lovely rest.
We make our separate ways to our houses as Skye and I are almost to Tipton Forest's pathway. I wonder if there's any dangerous creatures in the night. Throughout the night. I guess we'll never know because we made it back to the cabin after about half an hour and I'm getting ready to go to bed after my energy was spent on the beach. As I get ready for bed, Skye suddenly touches my hand. What is it, Skye? As I look at her, she looks like she got her mind on something.
Hey, Master. I've got something to tell you, and tonight is the best time.
And what would that be? Okay, go ahead.
Remember the pregnancy dream I had? I haven't told you the full story.
Excuse me? What's going on here?
There was another one there, and that person was the baby's father. But the image of the father, and who was with me in that dream, was you, Master.
That's lovely. Was me? I believe that she's going to confess her emotions to me. I don't know how to respond to this, but I need to think fast.
But I completely understand that you don't share the same feelings as I do.
Settle down somewheres and raise a family?
You've given me so much in life that I want you to know how I feel. Larissa gave me a new life. And from Tara's choices, I don't know where my life is heading next.
You're thinking beyond the gold rank. I just think that to make her feel better, I instantly hug her out of comfort. A very instinctive decision. Everything's going to be okay. Whatever decision you make, I'll be happy because what I see you right now, I see a confident and beautiful woman that can handle everything whatever throws at her face. I saved her from making more tears because I don't like her looking like this. But she's still feeling down of herself, sorry.
You're going to leave the city soon, aren't you?
Well, of course. Tipton has grown enough guild members to protect the city. And I like to explore some new places. Now it got me thinking. I don't usually have a place to call home yet. And Skye has been a great companion to me since my last party. Plus, I made new friends with Elizabeth, Tara, Thomas, and I gained the locals' trust from past missions. I guess both of us need some time to think. How about this? Let us have a few days to think about what we want in life, and let us be happy with our choices. Skye makes a cheerful smile at me.
I agree, but I kept you up a bit. Good night, Master.
As we are about to depart, I got one thing to say. Hey, Skye? From now on, can you call me Alex? I believe we are more as equals now. After hearing that, she blushes, feeling happy about it.
I'll be happy to, Alex.
After we both are happy about it, I go towards my bed. After all, Skye, you are no inferior to us after all. It's been a while since our beach day out, and I'll talk about what we'll do for our lives soon. We had some discussions, and we feel good about discussing our plans, but today we have been taking a day off on missions, and we're walking through a forest into Tipton on this lovely afternoon. Skye and I just had our usual talks and retelling stories about past missions as we walk along. We were talking about those that make us happy. But from the skies, a flock of birds were flying above us, with them making their cries repeatedly. That's strange. As we come in closer to Tipton, we hear some commotion going on. and it's not the right kind. What's going on here? That's a rather ominous cry there, or roar. Out of nowhere, we heard a distant growling roar from the other side of Tipton. It's from where those birds were. Now I know. They flew away scared from whatever is over that place. Skye and I decided to run towards the guild center to see what's happening. What's going on here? As predicted, the crowd outside of the guild center looks worried and confused. Both of us go to Elizabeth, Tara, and Thomas are talking about what happened.
Hey, it's you two. I thought you've went with the others.
Others? We were taking a day off. What's going on? And gone with the others?
We had a report this morning about a dragon sighting coming straight for us from another city.
Wow, that's like one of the mightiest foes that you could ever face in a fantasy scenario, a dragon.
Lucky thing that it was spotted in a nearby forest from here.
We notified any adventurers around this area moments ago to stop the dragon from coming closer to the city.
Damn, looks like our day off will be cut short.
We've announced that this is a top threat ranked mission.
Yep. Moments ago? Please be clearer.
2 hours ago, but no one returned yet.
2 hours? Those adventurers are good enough to handle expert thieves, but not a dragon attack like this.
My father is preparing an evacuation in an hour if the dragon comes closer.
That is wise to do
The
that.
city wasn't prepared for something like this.
But this is out of nowhere. And I thought dragons were very rare creatures to see nowadays.
Are there no other plans, Tara? Tara feels like there's no words to say at the moment.
That's the backup plan if those adventurers failed to stop it. Or worse.
It feels a dark thundercloud is hovering over the townsfolk, that there's little hope Tipton might be in ruins from this sudden dragon attack. No support from Thomas, no positivity from Elizabeth, and no confidence from Tara. It looks like we have to step up our A-game then. With hope decreased on everyone's faces of what they've built so far in 3 months, I gripped Skye's hand to feel determined. And Skye's face also feels ready for what's coming next.
I'm with you, Alex. Whatever it takes.
Exactly. Looks like a little bit of me is showing in her. I chuckle at her confidence, and it looks like my decision is made up. Alright, citizens of Tipton, sorry, listen up. We'll stop the dragon. We can buy you some time to give you some shelter if anything happens.
We're adventurers, and we must protect the innocent people at all costs.
Exactly, Skye. Hey, smiles. From our speeches, the citizens give us applause of hope. Even our friends join in. They're back in business like their old selves.
Go forth, Alex and Skye. Give that dragon what you got.
Dragon.
You both are Tipton's finest guild members. You have my full support.
Tara comes close to us. Her facial expression shows fear, but she gives herself a pause and pulls on a smile of hope.
Please take care of each other.
We will do, but we'll also take care of our friends as well. We will, and we can do this.
We'll be back soon with everyone.
Exactly, everyone. Both of us are running in the direction of the dragon as the citizens of Tipton cheering us again for our courageous stands against the upcoming terror that we're approaching. It's like a one-in-a-blue-moon scenario. After running for Tipton's lives, we arrive at a location of what we saw is unexpected, or a desolate place. Most of the trees and fields are wrecked. The skies are grey dull because of this unknown danger. Many adventurers I know and some I don't know well is on the ground unconscious. Some hide in fear and some have injuries. What I see in front of me was the dragon. The dragon is moving restlessly on the spot, and now it's staring at us with those frightening, intimidating, terrifying eyes. Then back goes to searching around. I prepare my sword and Skye is getting ready to fight beside me. As we do, we notice Amorous and Mori are barely moving not that far from us. We dash towards them to see if what we could do for assisting them. Skye puts her hands together to heal them with her magic.
Alex and Skye. Oh, we tried, but
That beast was reckless with us.
I'm not gonna lie, but Amoris's face is not one that I see of a person that is in severe pain. But who am I to judge?
So painful. We're sorry.
No worries. You guys did your best. Wait, that's the dragon? I thought it would look a little less intimidating. I thought it would look a bit more intimidating than that. Sorry. That thing doesn't look that intimidating at all, besides the horns. After we left them to rest, we quickly go in front of the dragon's path as it look right towards us.
We can do this, Alex.
Of course we can do this. After all, we are the fantastic dynamic duo. Of course, we believe in ourselves. The dragon gives out a roar and starts to come towards us in the attack. The dragons stare down to the adventurers. We need to take action. We, obviously, will say first, but spell it is. To assist you, Skye casts out a lightning spell attack at the dragon. The dragon hits you with a fireball. You took 19 damage. That attack made you tired. Even on the first turn, what would you do? Heal? Skye's healing you up. The dragon hits you with a fireball, but Skye, and you missed it. What would you do? Charge up. As Skye as support, she gives you a stat boost. Your attack and defense were raised. The dragon get into its attack position. What would you do? We will defend with our attack with our stat boost. You lift up your sword as defense. The dragon used its claws to slash you. Your sword blocks the attacks, but the impact from it hurts you. You took 6 damage. The dragon breathes heavily. Oh, that's a good sign, actually. What would you do? Spell. To assist you, Skye casts out a lightning spell attack at the dragon. The dragon roars and stomps the ground to see and land shockwaves towards you. He knocked you down. You took 10 damage. The dragon calmed down a bit. What would you do? Charge up. As Skye's support, she gives you a stat boost. Your attack and defense were raised. And the dragon? The dragon looks like it's ready for its big attack. What would you do? Strike him down. Skye and I does our combo attack to strike down the dragon. And the dragon? From our attack, we managed to cancel the dragon's big attack. The dragon was dazed from it and lowers its head. Lowers its head? Skye and I are tired and out of energy from dealing with the fighting, but dragon looks like if it's still ready for its outrage, and it rises its head up. Wow, this dragon brings out all the fighting. I mean, no wonder the others were having a tough time. Watch out, it's doing something. The dragon moves out of control again to turn its back on us, stomping on the same spot. Skye slowly goes forward. Even though it's dangerous, she notices something with the dragon.
It's in pain. I noticed something. I'll be back.
Be careful, Skye. She sprints towards the outraged dragon. I try to get up, my body won't let me. The dragon notices that Skye's coming up to it. Skye's trying to calm it down. Whoop.
It's okay. You're hurt, right? I'm not going to hurt you anymore.
The dragon stops with its stomping for a moment. It's now staring down at Skye. She's now prepared her hands to glow with her magic healing powers to the dragon.
Let me see your front legs, please.
The dragon calmly does what she says, almost like hypnotism in a way, but not really. Its front left leg appears to be swollen, bleeding a bit, and has a piece of wood stuck in it.
Alex, I need you to remove this.
How can I remove it from exhausted? As I get my balance, I slowly go towards where she says. It truly is in pain. The dragon positions itself to swing my sword to cut the piece of wood out of it. As I did that, the dragon yells in pain from reaction, and Skye tries her best to calm the creature.
It's gone now. Let me continue, please.
The dragon stops his painful flailing, and Skye carries on. Her healing magic makes the bleeding stop, and the wound mark grows smaller as she is still casting her spell. I can't believe that this is happening, but she's healing a dragon. Also, this is really, really unrealistic, even in a fantasy scenario. like a dragon suddenly stopping just because it hears the words of a humanoid creature, or a human in that fact, and just suddenly stopping your tirade just simply because a person's saying, hey, stop. I'm going to heal you. I know that's like a paraphrase, a really, really stupid paraphrase, but Skye stops as the wound, from my perspective, has gone small. The dragon is still lying and moving its neck towards us, feeling calm. I'm feeling cautious about what its next move is. Oh, the dragon moves its neck and lets out a big roar, a glow enveloping its entire body. Both of us move out of the way to see what's happening to it. As the dragon continues to glow, its body shrinks swiftly. Could it be a transformation or something? And finally, a big burst of light around the dragon lights up the area. It was a person. As I open my eyes from that flare, I slowly see where the dragon used to be. Now a girl appears with horns on her, so she can transform into a dragon, I imagine. Wait, the dragon transformed into that girl? I think it was the opposite. The horned girl has dark brown skin, thin yellow tail, and large like yellow and brown wings. She even has some clothes on, but most of her skin almost exposed, okay? Like some summer shorts, black leggings, a jeans, crop top, and a midriff top. She slowly opens her eyes from her awakening. She gets up from the ground where she lied. The mysterious girl does some stretches and checks on her left shoulder from the mark that Skye healed. Hi there. Hope you realize the destruction you've caused around you. The situation was getting a bit strange to figure out what to do with her.
Hey, Blue Girl. Thanks for healing me.
Livia. Unsure what Skye would respond, but she hand waves back at the dragon lady. She walks casually to us as we are unsure of what to do, but I guess she's now friendly.
You two have my many thanks.
Thank you. Right. And who are you? And why were you on a rampage earlier?
That's right. I'm Livia, and I'm known as a Draconin, a being that can change their appearance from this to a dragon.
I thought it was the reverse. Rather than a dragon transforming into a girl, it was initially the girl transforming into a dragon.
Bandits ambushed me, and I fought them off, but I lodged myself into a large piece of wood.
And you went out of control because of the pain, right?
And that's it. I went berserk in pain and managed my way here.
Damn. She looks around the injured adventurers with the ones that Amorous and Moya gathered to rest, and ruined trees that she unconditionally caused.
Look at the mess I made. I'm gonna fix them.
How are you gonna fix them, though? Wait, how will you do that? I suppose a Draconian also has other powers besides destruction.
Leave it to me.
Ah, yes. She starts to put her arms out in the air, and her body begins to glow. It's the same magic glow that Skye healed her with. She must be casting a spell.
Let everyone be purified.
She lets out a shockwave of green magic from herself throughout the damaged area. But only a couple of seconds from Livia's magic glow. It still looks ruinous. It's like an entirely different CG. The damaged areas on the ground and Tress has been restored to their green appearances like before. The energy goes through us, and now I'm feeling much better like before fighting Livia. I don't feel battered anymore.
Alex, I'm feeling better. And my magic is recharged now.
Recharged? Some of the unconscious adventurers are waking up. The injuries are gone, and getting up, realizing what's going on, but being happy at the same time. Some grass sprouts are shooting up from the wrecked ground.
Oh, outstanding! I feel like I can take out that dragon again!
Please don't. It's calmer now.
We're safe now. Everything's going to be safe and sound.
Until the next dragon goes on berserk. Livia's body finishes glowing and she looks back at us.
There we go. Good old dragon magic. I hope that makes us even.
Yeah, that does. That does. You restored the environment around you.
My head. Things becoming blurry.
Have you used up your power too much? She's about to wobble and fall over out of exhaustion, but Skye catches her in time.
It's okay. You must be tired.
Thank you again. What's your name, my saviors?
I'm Alex, and this is my best friend and teammate Skye.
Nice to meet you both.
It looks like you need a place to rest. Let's go to Tipton and explain the situation. Don't worry, she's not going to transform in here. Hopefully not. It's been a few hours since the dragon attack, and it's now the evening at Tipton. Skye and I explain what happens with Olivia situation. The citizens and the adventurers celebrated us for saving the day. Olivia is now fully recovered at the guild center, and we're discussing what's next for her. I think Skye really is the real hero here because, well, she spotted that the dragon was in pain, but rather than resort to even more violence, she chose a more restorative path. Do you have a place to go?
I go wherever I please. I left my tribe to become a better person.
So your tribe was pinning you down or something?
I like to explore, be a lone warrior, and find my place in this world.
Lone warrior, kind of like a Ronin then. She looks around the place.
What's your future going to be like?
My future right now is here with my beloved. I guess like yours, meeting new places and helping others. That's why I've helped out Tipton since the guild center opened.
You and I are alike, growing as a better person than before. Maybe I'll hang around this city for a bit since you and Skye saved me.
Sure thing. Do what you feel. And of course, cause you're still recovering from your wounds.
I guess you're right too. Even Skye wanted me to be friends with her a while ago.
Really? Yeah, she's had that effect. I'm going to check with everyone outside.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Thank you. Both of us eggs out of the center. Just don't transform again and cause danger, destruction. As regards to everybody, crowd clapped and applauded us. I know that we saved the day, but I wonder what's this about. Even the adventurers are cheering me on.
Bravo, Alex Gladstone and Skye the Slime Maid! Bravo!
I'm so happy. I'm proud to be a part of this.
Skye leaped out over to hug me, and Elizabeth approached me.
Alex Goldstone, thanks again to you and Skye for saving the city.
Thank you.
The head office of Guys and the mayor have heard about this and wanted to reward you both.
And the reward is something golden.
I believe that is something you both wanted. Plus, you deserve this.
Gold. In my mind, I see dozens of people are happening and cheering me on for what's next. I never knew this day would come. Is it gold? I knew it. Tara holds out 2 gold pendulum badges.
Alex and Skye, on behalf of the mayor and the head office, both of you are now Tipton's first ever gold rank members.
Yeah, and we should also thank Livia for this to be possible. She hands me my very own gold badge to show that I'm worthy of this. She does the same thing to Skye next to me. Thank you, Tara. As I feel proud about my badge, Skye comes towards me to show her golden badge.
Alex! We're now gold rank members together.
Exactly. I'm so glad for her success that I even gave her a hug for it. Aww. Livia's clapping along and she's glad for us.
Both of you are great together. To the future.
Hey, to the future. Yeah, the future. Thomas has come forward and congratulated us.
Well done! It's about time you got what you wanted.
And deserved.
In fact, I have an announcement to make to everyone.
Is it free beers tonight?
To celebrate this event, 25% discount on drinks at the Ram Pub.
Well, that's certainly a good way about it. The crowd got even more wild hearing Thomas's announcement.
Let's enjoy ourselves, Tipton!
Thank you, Thomas. The crowd marches on towards the pub, and this time, nobody else is going to try and offer will get a discount because of, well, we did it beforehand. It's now nighttime over Tipton, and I'm outside of a pub looking around my surroundings. Everybody I know, including Navia, are having a good and happy time drinking, dancing, and having conversations about what happened earlier today. I still can't believe that I'm a gold rank member as an adventurer. I made myself a promise that once I'm a gold rank member I was planning to leave Tipton and start anew. But are you sure about this? But I never knew my life changed that much. And Skye made it for the better. And my feelings for her are now set for what to do for the future. I'll try keep that thought in mind for later. I begin to sneak a peek for what's going on in the Rowdy Club. Well, I'm seeing that Livia's having a discussion to Amorous, Moria and Thomas.
It's amazing that you're a one-of-a-kind being of great power.
It is indeed, isn't it? A dragon.
You're so friendly and cool.
And I can't believe that you folks can keep your calm when I try to destroy your lands.
Well, we can forgive and forget.
Like you said, you were berserk, and you sound like a nice person.
Exactly.
Thank you. Just for that, I'll have another drink.
Damn.
I'll have another drink with the Dragon Lady too.
Let's see if we still got some beer left. I'll be back.
It seems like there was a lot consumed then.
This might get a bit rowdy. I may leave early.
Moria rude to anyone? I'm kidding. While the group are having a drinking session, I searched around to see Tara and Elizabeth at a table. Looks like both girls are having a lively conversation.
Once again, thank you for how you handled the town's safety situation earlier.
Thank you, Elizabeth. To be honest, I was a bit scared on the situation. But as long as I have the citizens' hope to believe in me, that's all that matters in the end.
Exactly.
I guess you've been influenced by Alex's determination for you to act like that.
I believe so. He really is a good man.
I'm a great man.
Hey, since I'm having a day off for the next few days, why don't we both have a girls' day out in the city?
Aw, she would like that.
Elizabeth, I'll be honored to have a girls' day out with you. I'll take my schedule.
Ah, that's terrific! There's a new dress boutique store that recently opened, and I need a gal pal for advice.
Oh my god, that's the shop I wanted to go to when I had free time as well. There's a dress on display I want to try out.
Both girls laugh at the unique coincidence that they want to look into a new dress shop. It's nice to see that Tara's opening herself more to others and still be a vocal and clever person. Yeah. I already had a negative cast over her at the very beginning of the game, but I suppose it's natural for people to be defensive with those that they have no idea about. I laugh and smile at myself to see how much the city has grown since the Guild Mission Center was first opened, and for me to really make an impact into it. I can't believe I changed so many lives by being here for the past few months. It really is a new breath of fresh air. I can see what I am going to do in my next chapter, but there's one thing that struggles in my mind. What about Skye? Skye appears exiting from the pub to meet me.
Hey, Alex. Are you doing well if you're outside?
Yeah, and you're here just in time. I turn my back to her, feeling ready to say what I want to hear. Skye, I'm pretty aware of what you have been to me, and I have some feelings for you too. Before, I was mostly alone, trying to be the very best, like no one ever was. Since Larissa gave you this form and how much everyone appreciates what you can do, you made me feel better. You went from this helpful and happy-go-lucky girl into an understanding and strong adventurer who still has the same traits from the beginning, including the creepy ladybug story. Skye feels like she has butterflies in her stomach on my compliment as her eyes widen. She placed her hands on her chest. Skye, I want you. I want you. Oh my gosh, this is a choice. As an adventurer, you want to be on your own adventure. Skye's happiness face is now going to one of confusion and puzzled. It's like the news of what she didn't want.
I see. What about you?
I'm off to see another city in the lands, to see if they need another adventurer like me around. Like we discussed earlier, that we should grow separately to see if we can get stronger alone. I guess in this case, it's proven that we can save people independently on our own. But no matter what, I'm proud of you becoming who you are today. Skye has some time to think to her, some time to herself to think is this, I don't know, this conversation, the best situation or the solution for both of us. I've seen her face before that she's thinking about a hard decision to make. But she eventually smiles back at me. I do see her facial expression look calm but nervous.
I guess I am a grown-up woman, huh?
Exactly.
This is what you wanted me to do? I won't argue about it, Alex. It seems that now we're both independent adventurers.
Exactly, yeah. I agree. I knew this was not as good outcome. There's not much to say to you now. Both of us are having an awkward standoff to see what's going on next.
Say, can we watch the stars for the last time?
Sure thing. Both of us are now looking on at the skies. The night sky with tiny bright stars is the right atmosphere as we soon have our own journey to take. Separate. 1 week later. Skye and I have packed up all our belongings in our rental cabin. That's right. And it's about time to leave Tipton for a while. Off to a new place to explore and assist. But now, it's time to depart ourselves. Ready, Skye?
Yes. Everything is finished, Alex.
It looks like we've got everything ready. We're now exiting the cabin. Goodbye, cabin. You've been absolutely splendid for us. Now we are walking down for the final time along Tipton Forest. I believe this is the same spot where I first encountered Skye and rescued her. It's been a few months of new things to discover, great times to remember. We're now at Tipton Forest to get ready to say our final goodbyes to our friends outside of the pub. But first, we arrive at the outside of the guild centre and see Moria, Amorous and some other guild members and applauding and cheering us. They must have heard the news of our leaving the city.
Good luck on your future endeavors, my two heroes.
I wish for you two the best.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm happy that I met you all. And best wishes on your achievements.
And after our few exchanges from everybody, we left the guild centre and make our way to the city. The Ram pub. From our final goodbyes, there's Thomas, Elizabeth, Tara and Livia are saying their farewells to us.
I'll never forget customers like you two again. I hope your separate journeys will make you two comfortable.
Both of you helped the city more, and I enjoyed our company together.
Thank you for what you did for the city, and to have you both as my friends. I'm sad to see you two leave here.
I'll treasure every moment that we all spent together. Even if Alex and I have grown apart as teammates, our friendship is irreplaceable.
Exactly. And I think that's what really leaves a mark on people. It's the fact that you there has made the entire environment of that town, city, place that much better.
Never seen two unique people are so positive about being a part as heroes. What an experience being here.
No worries. You get the hang of rescuing and being there for others.
True. As long as you have friends like these, I guess I'll be in safe hands.
Of course, darling. You, Tara, and I are about to have our girls' night out soon.
Damn.
Hey! Where's my invitation?
It's called a girls' night out.
It's girls' night, Thomas.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't laughed for ages. Yeah, I'm in safe hands.
Everyone around me and myself have a good laugh with one another. Right, off we go. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll miss you all.
Make sure you send us a postcard.
Have beautiful experiences, both of you.
Come back and visit one day.
Farewell, until we meet again.
Until we meet again, everyone. And just like that, we exit out of Tipton as we keep waving our friends goodbye. We made it through the fields where we fought Livia in her dragon form, and we're looking which pathways to follow. But as I do, the sky is clear blue, the wind is slightly blowing through us, and we stop at a crossroad to see where we're going. As we discussed, I take the left road, and Skye picked the right road. This is it, our final talk of each other. Many journeys and adventures come and go as the time went on. But as long as I had friends that I shared many memories with, things will be alright. I know that now, since my last party members, and now Skye does too, both of us will find what we're looking for and aim to the top as gold adventurers. Hey Skye? Skye's face looks towards to me, but with that unsure feature on herself. I want to say thanks again for being at my side, even the times I needed it. Let's hope that our paths cross once more as we become better than before. Skye's smile gleams with hope of us being together in a distant future. Skye likes that idea.
Until that day comes, I'll be happy to be back at your side. I gave you so much into this world, and I'm ready to give it back to the people that I'll be saving.
Exactly. Indeed. Goodbye, Skye.
Goodbye, Alex. I'll miss you. And thank you.
We embrace for one last hug that we have, and we're starting to walk separate ways. As I peeked on my left shoulder, I'm seeing Skye slowly going away from my view. As her path is going down, while mine stays the same. I turned back and tried to focus on my goals in my mind, because I know I made the right decision. I'm not looking back as I close my eyes for a while to keep my mind straight and careful. But as I walked for over 2 minutes, I turned back, and Skye was vanished from my sight. It's like her path was too far for me to see, and we're on our way to our next journeys into the unknown. We're ready for what's our way to be better people. To be honest, that would not be the canonical decision that I would make.
Hello, my lovely reader.
Hello, Larissa.
Looks like we hit a bittersweet ending for Alex Goldstone's story and his slime maid turned adventurer Skye. Nevertheless, I'm so glad that I played a small part in this. Not all endings are happy, love, or victorious. As long as some are hopeful or sentimental ones, those endings are acceptable too.
Yep.
And that's all from me. That's how I roll, readers.
Okay, Larissa.
Remember, love and laughter always. Until next time, adios.
What is that next time? Thank you very much. So that's definitely one of the endings to this game. One of 2 endings: director, writer, programmer, character designer. This is definitely what you would call the credits of this game. I knew that somehow the adventurer one would not be the better outcome, but it was still kind of a bittersweet, as Larissa said. You know, it has some bitterness to it, but also some sweetness in it that makes it an outcome in and of itself. But this one, this is the one and true canonical ending. I want you to travel with me as my girlfriend. As I finally confess my feelings to her, she starts to hop on the spot a few times and sprints towards me for a hug. Luckily I caught her in time. As we hug, we look into each other's eyes. And we finally kiss for the first time.
Thank you, Alex, for making me the happiest girl ever.
And I will be continuing to do so. Both of us are now looking onto the skies. The night sky with tiny bright stars is the right atmosphere for our new love for one another. One week later, Skye and I have packed up all our belongings in our rental cabin. That's right, and it's time to leave Tipton for a while. Off to a new place to explore and assist together. But now, it's time to depart ourselves. Ready, Skye?
Yes. Everything is finished, Alex.
It looks like we've got everything ready. We're now exiting the cabin. Now we are walking down for the final time along Tipton Forest. I believe this is the same spot where I first encountered Skye and rescued her. It's been a few months of new things to discover, great times to remember. We're now at Tipton to get ready to say our goodbyes to our friends outside of a pub. But first, we arrive at the outside of the guild centre to see Moria, Amorous and some other guild members who are applauding and cheering us. They must have heard the news of our leaving the city.
Good luck on your future endeavors, my two heroes.
I wish for you two the best.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm happy that I met you all. And best wishes on your achievements.
And after a few exchanges from everybody, we left the guild centre and make our way to the city. From our final goodbyes, as Thomas, Elizabeth, Tara and Livia are saying their farewells to us.
I'll never forget one of my usual customers and the finest adventurers I ever met.
Both of you helped this city more, and I enjoyed our company together. Just look out for each other.
Absolutely.
Thank you for what you did for this city and for making me your friend. I'll never forget those moments.
Hopefully you'll be able to make more friends along your journey, Tara. Thank you all. Your words are most cherished and heart-welcoming. Most of all, your hands are now full of your newest guild member.
I'm quite charmed that you're calling me the newest.
No worries. You'll get the hang of rescuing and being there for others.
True. As long as you have friends like these, I guess I'll be in safe hands.
Exactly.
Of course, darling. You, Tara, and I are about to have our girls' night out soon.
Hey! Where's my invitation?
I suppose you did not get the memo, Thomas.
It's girls' night, Thomas.
I haven't laughed for ages. Yeah, I'm in safe hands.
Everyone around me and myself have a good laugh with one another. Right, off we go. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll miss you all.
Make sure you send us a postcard.
We'll do our best to remember that.
Have beautiful experiences together.
Come back and visit one day.
We will do one day.
Farewell. Until we meet again.
And just like that, we exit out of Tipton as we keep waving our friends goodbye. Friends. Not just random people that we pass along by, but friends. We made it through the fields where we fought Livia in her dragon form, and we're looking which pathways to follow. But as I do... One thing for certain, the sky is clear blue, the wind is slightly blowing through us, and our pathway is beyond us. I grab my girlfriend's hand right by my side to see what's next.
You know where we're going?
I believe so. But wherever we are going, let's find out together.
I'm with you all the way.
And we are on our way to our next journey into the unknown. Watch out, world. Here we come. Larissa?
Hello, my lovely reader. Looks like we've made it to the end of Alex Goldstone's story and his slime maid turned girlfriend Skye.
Hey, it's not the end of their story, okay? Wherever they go next is still the continuation of their story.
I'm so glad that I played a small part in this. A goddess like me always loves the lesser beings. At least I'm off the hook for interfering.
Okay, interfering with a certain part of a world, but the interference is very welcoming.
And that's all from me. That's how I roll, readers. Remember, love and laughter always. Until next time, sayonara.
It was adios last time or something similar, now it's sayonara. And that, folks, is everything that is within Adventures of Skye the Slime Maid, with some possible mechanics of possibly dying with any of the monsters if we do not try and either heal, defend, or cast a spell. Because remember, at times, using physical attacks is never the best way forward in order to actually initiate a fight. Otherwise, if you just go in there blind and... well, not like physically blind, but just going in blind and just casting attacks, you're never ever going to really get yourselves out alive. Now, I like this game, no doubt. I like the characters within the game. I think each of them have their own individual quirks about them that makes them very memorable. However, I do have one big issue, and that is the pacing of this game. There's so many moments in this game where you can fill in a lot of details which would really expand this game, and not, let's say, from the beginning to end, not as in like making it so that more days happen before or after, but there's so much room for filler to be filled into the game itself. Oh yeah, this is the CG we saw at the beginning of the game when Skye was talking about that ladybug incident. But from what I feel, there's so much potential for story that's been mentioned in the game but has never transpired by to be filled in. I'm not talking about, let's just say, we're just eating our dinner, we go to the shower, we wash, we go to bed, turn the light off, good night. No. But unless, of course, I see my name there. But of course, those times can happen if there can be story that can fill in that like monotonous moment of what are they discussing about, let's say at dinner time? What are they discussing about on their adventures? What happened within like 1 month between one moment and another moment that made it so that there is much more that the story of this game can have? And I feel like there's much potential of this game to be even better than it is, but there's just so much room that unfortunately makes it feel like that there's a lot of moments which are void of story. And the spinning ground with this game is okay, but there's so much area in which, like, sometimes I had to really stop and fathom like what the dialogue of this game is trying to say, because I'm kind of I'm trying to fathom out what the story is trying to present to me as the player. And obviously it's about the transformation of what was a regular slime in the fantasy world and transforming it into, it was meant to be 2023, and transforming it into a humanoid slime minus the defectivencies of a slime when it comes to contact with, let's say, with water, for example, and stuff like that. But this is an adventure in and of itself. I really like this game. I like the development with the characters in the game. Tara is probably one of the stronger ones because she showed like a lot of defensive traits at the very start of the game where she was not that approachable, but then she became a more confident individual with others. Like, she's probably the third strongest individual when it comes to stories. Second and first obviously being Alex and Skye themselves. And I would say probably the character which has the least amount of story, aside Livia because she was at the very end of the game, I would probably say that the character with the least amount of character development throughout the game would have to be either Amatus or Moria, but then we don't see those two that often throughout the game anyways. I would say Amatus, because the only kind of backstory we hear is that, no, I'm thinking about Lavia when it came to like her tribe and stuff like that. But Amatus, I don't remember actually seeing any kind of dialogue about him having some kind of experience that traumatized him, set him back, or anything like that. Because it's not just the positives that make you as a character, but it's also the, when I say negative, but the shortcomings of a character. Like, not every single segment of a character needs to be positive, and actually if every segment of a character is positive, then there's no kind of backbone to that character that enables them to learn from their mistakes and grow as individuals. Gallery. Okay, so we've got all the images, so that's good. So there's no like hidden images which are hidden because we didn't die at any point throughout the game. But it's little adventure. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it's definitely a very good visual novel. So I recommend checking out for yourselves and seeing what you think of this game. Link down in the description below where you'll be able to purchase this game for yourselves and download it for yourselves after that purchase. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you liked about this game. Let me know what you thought could be improved. I definitely think the grammar and the story pacing could be improved in a way. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves.